Welcome everybody to some Division 1 action now. This is a delayed start to round 1 for myself and Oliver. You can see that's our historical record. I've never beaten Oliver in Standard in 3 meetings. Modern, he's 2-1 favourite, and Legacy, I'm 2-1, but he's got total points advantage over me here. So I'm trying to get my first win playing this deck that I also played against Dylan. It's just a janky thing I brewed up, Grixis Dragons. He's on these red aggro decks. So prior to sideboarding, I think I only have about 3 Sweltering Suns and 2 Vraska's Contempt as my removal spells. But having that Sweltering Suns is a good one because I'm going to be able to clear up the board and stabilize here. So I'm kind of hoping that he's going to play out some sort of a threat that I can then sweep, but he doesn't. So just take the safe route, clear the board up. He doesn't have the black source, so he can't get back the exiled creature. I didn't have the untapped land there. I could have played a Sulphur Falls, but I'm kind of greedy because I want to play Lathliss Dragon Queen next turn. At this stage, Oliver's missing land drop, so I think I've got this match wrapped up now at this point, particularly if Vraska's Contempt. Lathliss 6/6 is going to outclass Hazoret or anything he's going to bring on in the future. So it's just a case for me now of untapping, and I'm pretty confident that I'm going to win game 1. You can see a little bit of indecisiveness there from Oliver. You can't decide what to attack. So I play the Lathliss so that I can get into. You can see Glorybringer and Bolus are going to give me additional 5/5s next turn. I don't believe he has anything main board that can beat Lathliss. Sometimes sideboard we might see a like Chandra's Defeat. So here I discard and draw. I'm going to play Glorybringer. I'm going to take down Bomat Courier because Goblin Chainwheeler can't do anything against what I've got. But Bomat Courier can draw him some cards. He's clearly struggling for mana, so I don't want him to sack and then find something decent. So if he's going to get anything decent, he's got to find it off the top of his deck. And he'd seen enough, so we're going to go to game 2. So pretty quick victory there. I really struggle here. I've had to mull down to 5. You can see I bought in, I think it's 2 Abrades and 2 more Vraska's Contempt. So I try and lower my curve, my removal curve here. But this is a pretty terrible hand. You can see, again, he doesn't have the black source. So I'm just going to Abrade Scrap Heap Scrounger again. But now he's got black, but again here I don't mind because I don't believe this red-black deck plays a basic swamp. Now he's going to force my hand with this Doomfall. There is some argument to take the Soulscar Mage because any damage would weaken my dragons, but I don't. I think by the time I get to the dragons, I would have found another answer anyway. He takes my Liliana's Death Majesty, I think, because you can see I'm still 4 turns minimum away from casting Lathliss. So at this stage, I'm so far behind. The only thing that's sort of going for me is the fact that he hasn't applied a lot of pressure to the board. At this stage, a Sweltering Suns would be very nice. And I top deck. So I'm starting to think now I've got a Glorybringer in hand, I can almost get myself back into this match. I've got a healthy life at 16, I just need to hit 1 more land drop, and I think with a Glorybringer I should be okay. Kari Zev is a huge problem. Now here, if I play Sarkhan, he's just straight up dead. So I can throw him down as bait, but I decide not to. I'm really hoping to top deck the land the next turn. But to go to 11 here is a bit uncomfortable. There's the land that I need. Unfortunately, it's a tap land, so when I'm at 11, again, I'm going to be taking another beating. So missing that land drop ended up being crucial. I think if I had hit it, or if I'd thrown down the Sarkhan and at least absorbed an attack earlier, I probably would have been in better shape. So now I get super greedy. There's a 6th land. I go for Lathlis because Glorybringer is going to make it give me a 5/5. So from there, I believe I've got this match won. But then I believe he hits one of his own sideboard cards. Not at this stage. Yeah, so he's going to nail me down to about 4 now. At this stage, I'm in damage control. I'll just take down that Ragavan because next turn I can play Glorybringer, remove Kari Zev, and have a 5/5 blocker. There's a sideboard card, Chandra's Defeat, so that completely changes that line. So what I have to do now, I can play Sarkhan plus 2/2 to get the mana and play Glorybringer. I have to take down Kari Zev because I can't hold Glorybringer can't hold back. I'd drop to 1. And I don't want to drop to 1. I mean 1 and 2 is the same, but blocking a Ragavan is kind of pointless. It's just something I'm going to have to do every turn. And I would have been dead the turn after. So at least that's where I drop to 2, then I can hold back and block. But I am dead to a lightning strike if he has it. So now I'm just waiting. There's a bit of a delay here because the other card that I'm thinking of is Goblin Chainwhirler. It'll drop me to 1 and that would also be lethal, but he doesn't have it. He's going to sack a Bomat Courier. Vraska's Contempt is big here. It's going to gain me some life. I'm going to discard Dragon Sword because it's too slow now. I need something more drastic. And at this stage, I don't play out the Ether Hub because I want the option of discarding it to Sarkhan. So Scrap Heap Scrounger playing it there was actually good for me because you can see he's tapped out and he doesn't have the mana. So I can definitely go to 4 and exile that permanently. Bomat's still going to drop me to 3, which means Lightning Strike is still lethal. But that ends up being a good one, Heart of Quran, because you can see I'm going to drop to 2 here. I desperately need to find another threat. I got 2 chances here because I can discard the Ether Hub and I can cycle the Canyon Sloth. I get nothing from the Ether Hub. Cycle the Canyon Sloth. And you can see awkwardly that land is going to come and tap, so I can't play the Glorybringer. So I hold back Glorybringer on defense. He brings back the Scrap Heap Scrounger, and so if he has any sort of threat here, I'm just dead. Something that can crew the Heart of Quran. If that land was untapped, it would have been good. He's got a Hazaret, so I'm dead, so we're going to game 3. So you can see I still favour this deck. I think I was in a winning position a number of times there. It's just that crucially I missed a land drop twice, and then when I needed the land, it came in tapped rather than untapped. And you can see 2 Sweltering Suns in my opening hand is really good. I just need to find a threat now. I finally get to play this Dragon Sword. This is an absolute beast once my engine starts going. At this stage, I'm greedy. I'm wanting him to play out more threats. That'll do. So I'm down to 16. I've got 2 Sweltering Suns, so I can clean up the board here. This means that he has to cast something to equip the Heart of Quran. Which he does, of course. So he can get in for 4 here. So Sarkhan is just going to be dead. It's going to be a filter card, but a dragon off the top would be very nice here, but you can see I just keep flooding out, hitting lands. So I'm going to play Sarkhan. I'm going to see, is this enough to bait him into just attacking me? I can get a filter. Of course, I flood again with the land. So here, again, I just go for the sweep. It's not actually a very good one because you can just get Scrounger back. He was going to get a Scrounger back anyway, so I just reduced 3 damage. I'm still taking, actually I reduced more than that. I'm still going to take 7, go down to 5. And I need a top deck desperately here. I can't, I'm thinking what top deck I can get. He has a bit of a think about this play. He's tempted to take down Sarkhan, and I'm really hoping he does, but then he changes his mind and says, hey, he's just dead, I'll just go for his face. That's 8 points of damage. I don't think there's a card in my deck that can get me out of this. The only one I can think of is Sweltering Suns, but the problem there again is that he's got um, is that he can just get the scrap heap back anyway and accrue the Heart of Quran again. So there's nothing I can do here. I'm pretty sure I'm just dead. 2, 4, 6, 7. I played a Lathless Queen. Even if I block the Heart of Quran, I'm still taking 4 from the others. So just once I realize that, I just concede. And that is it. I'm going to concede. So we go to modern. Oliver maintains his perfect record against me now. 4-0 in standard. Again, I'm playing this Bant mid-range deck that I net decked from Todd Stevens. I lost to Dylan with it, but I didn't really have time to do much because there's actually 2 days in between these games, I think, and I actually quite like the cards. I don't know if I'll be playing this next week. So he's played Opt here, so Sulfur falls into Opt. Normally, Sleight of Hand, I believe, is the card for Storm, so I don't think he's on Storm. I think he's on Through the Breach or something like that. You can see he removed my mana dork, so I'll play another one. Nessa Vastwood Seer here, I've played a few games with it. I'm not particularly keen on it. I think it's a massive, for the long game, it's really good, but it does nothing for quite some time. So here I'm a bit surprised that my tracker resolves, and then that I'm able to play out the land. You can see he goes ahead and helixes the tracker, so I can at least crack the fetch and get an extra clue out of it. And of course the helix gives away on Jeskai control. So at this stage, Voice of Resurgence is huge in this matchup, and I want to keep up Spell Queller because he's in Supreme Verdict range, and I can start cracking clues. The other thing that starts to enter my mind now is 7 lands from the Sebastwoods here. I'm up to 5, and I've got a Corsair that can also get me there. If I can resolve a Nissa Vastwoods here and then Flipper, I think it's awesome card advantage. So Knight of the Reliquary coming. You can see now he's going to Field of Ruin one of my lands because uh, he doesn't want me drawing the Knight. So I've got one in hand as well. I do misplay here. I could have floated that mana to crack a clue if I wanted. Well, it's not really a misplay. I think it's a giveaway for him. He knows that now that I'm not wanting to spend that mana, so he probably knows Spell Queller is right there. He finds his own Celestial Colonnade. This deck, I don't think, off memory, I don't even really know the mana base. I don't think it plays any Ghost Quarters or anything like that, so I don't have an answer there. I don't know if this is broken with the program, but you can see he shuffled away with Field of Ruin, and Knight of the Reliquary was still on top. Me and Dylan were playing a match some time ago and encountered this particular issue. I don't know if it's a coincidence or if it's a bug, but we'll see. So I cracked the clue end of turn, hit the path. So Scavenging Ooze is huge, and for me, I was hoping to find that because it means it shuts off his Snapcaster mages. And if he has any search for Scanters, it means that they're not effective either. So in come all the Knuckleheads. I was tempted to hold back Knight of the Reliquary to play around Settle the Wreckage, but because I've got the second one, I didn't bother. So here's Supreme Verdict. My line here is to Spell Queller the Verdict with the trigger on the stack, path my own Spell Queller, so Verdict is gone permanently, but he ends up conceding at that point anyway. So we go to game 2. Yeah, I don't like to keep the Supreme Verdict under the Spell Queller because Path doesn't have many targets in this match, and also he can easily bolt me or helix me and get that Verdict back. So pathing the Spell Quellers, I think, is a really good line there. So now I sit back. You can see I've got a bird of paradise and a hierarch. I always play the bird out first because you expect the bolt, and I value the hierarch more. But I was amazed that that bird actually survived. I don't want to play the scavenging news out just yet because I want to get some sort of value from it. Now I'm thinking, I was a bit surprised he didn't fetch a red source there. And he goes untapped. So it's like shields are down, so I straight away go for Jace. So I have to plus Jace in this matchup because no, I'm going to keep, I think I keep Bolt on, no, I put it on the bottom actually because at this stage I don't know. He missed a land drop. I could have actually kept Bolt on top and then he would have missed it again. So he opts. So now I'm in a position where my scavenging ooze can start to do some things. And so I'm starting to think here I want to use Jace as a win con because you can see he's missed his land drop again. So if I can just keep him off red mana or slow him down considerably while I keep hitting and plussing Jace, then he's going to be forced to use his burn spells to reduce Jace's loyalty rather than take down my mana dorks. And with Gavany Township as well, I don't have to do anything. I can just sit there activating the township every turn. You can see he's got the Field of Ruin, but he still needs another land to activate that. I'm not sure what the delay was here. I think he, if I just check the chat, no, there's nothing. So he passes the turn. So again, I just keep, you can see he's got Cryptic. I think I let him keep the Cryptic. Yeah, I let him keep the Cryptic so he doesn't draw the land that he needs. He plays Search Riscata, so that's going to kind of negate my Jace to a degree. I do have a main deck Dromoka's Command, and he's got the Mountain. So he's kind of in a position here. He's got Jace ticking up, and he's got Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze is going to keep him off flipping a Scunter. So what I have to do here is activate the Ooze. I take the Cryptics, just do it one at a time. It doesn't make a difference because they all go on the stack, but I'm just waiting to see. Because the other option here was to Gavany Township, but I'm sure he would have just bolted or whatever he's got in response to the Township. So I know I'm expecting Scavenging Ooze to die here. And so now Teferi, I want him to tap out. I'm thinking, how am I going to do this? Jace will tick up again. It's a Colonnade on top. I put that to the bottom because I don't want him to get the fourth land. So now I play Teferi because I'm going to go on the offensive here. If he wants to use a burn spell, a counter spell, then shields it down, but he doesn't. So Teferi, I choose against attacking there because I want to use the mana from the birds in the hierarch because there's the electrolyze. I knew he had some sort of burn spell. He's going after scavenging ooze here, so this makes me think that he does have. So you can see I can untap and then activate the township with Teferi. This makes me think he discards a negate. He must have another burn spell because he chose to take down the scavenging ooze rather than hit Jace, who's 2 turns away from ultimate. And I think with Teferi here, I'm attacking him on 2 fronts. And the other issue here that I go for with this township is that if he's got a burn spell, it's going to force him to direct a lot of that damage to my creatures when I think he would rather be sending it to Jace to reduce Jace's loyalty. So here comes the lightning bolt. He bolts down Teferi. Shocks himself and then snap bolts to finish off. I didn't actually mind this because it's a massive use of resources to take down one card. And so next turn I draw Elspeth, and from here I think you can see it straight away went to attack. That kind of pissed me off because I had F5 set incorrectly. So I'm on ultimate on Jace the next turn. So he's tapped out. I can resolve Elspeth. I think so many things have to go wrong for me to lose from here. I didn't even bother attacking, just in case there's some weird thing he had. I can hold back plenty of blockers to prevent that Snapcaster from hitting Jace. And so he's looking at his cards to see if he has any outs. I can't possibly think what could save him from here. He needs to stop Jace. Well, in the first instance, he needs to stop Jace from ultimating. So it needs to be some sort of either a burn spell or an island plus cryptic to bounce the Jace. Even that I don't mind because I can activate Township and hit him from a ton of damage next turn. Yeah, you can't see the chat here, but he just says he's thinking about it. What can I do here? The other option he has is to play Teferi and minus on Jace is the other thing. And again, I wouldn't mind that because Teferi would just force him to tap out and he'd be dead the next turn. Teferi would be dead the next turn, and he'd still have to deal with an Elspeth. And I could also play out another Jace. So he goes Snapcaster. Targeting Electrolyze. So he's going to get the draw here. So he can zap Jace down to 11, so I can't ultimate next turn. So now I've got a ton of options here. I'm just going to keep the pressure on with Jace. There's a logic knot. I'm going to keep that on top because he obviously needs something to win him the match, and logic knot is not it. So before I activate Elspeth first and then use the Gavany Township. So he's taken a massive beating here. 2, 4, 6, 9, 12. That's actually lethal. So he's down to 2. I can't. A Supreme Verdict would clear the board, but then I ultimate with Jace. So I think the only thing he can possibly do here is Cryptic, bounce and bounce Jace, tap my team. That only buys him a turn. So I ultimate Jace. He obviously doesn't have the cryptic and he concedes. So we go to Legacy now, where I've actually got the wood over him 2 games to 1. I'm playing the Eldrazi Stompy again. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be playing this for. Normally I would have preferred to play Black Red Reanimator or some sort of a Delver strategy. I'm not sure what he's on Wasteland at this stage. I think from my experience, Oliver likes to change it up each season. So he'll stick with a deck for a season, but as soon as he drops Aether, I think, okay, he's playing the Death and Taxes that he's had pretty good success with. So I just dumped the Endless one out because I just need some presence on the board, particularly with that Wasteland. If I get any half decent land, he's just going to Wasteland it. And so now I decide to go for Simian Spirit Guide into Thought Knots here, and this is kind of, I think this decision ultimately determines the match. I take the Stoneforge Mystic here. I don't know if that's incorrect. The other ones I see are not particularly fantastic, but what I did not take into consideration was Serra Avenger equipped with the Jite. So he's going to Wasteland me again. You can see all the cards in my hand. I do have 8 double mana producing cards, so he's used 2 Wastelands to take down 2 lands that were not those, which is not a bad thing. Thalia doesn't really do anything against my deck. And so here he's going to, in response, activate Serra Avenger. So there's not a lot for me to target here. I think it's, yeah, Caracas and a Phyrexian Revoker. Again, the Revokers can't really hit anything. So I've got a pretty good board presence at the stage, but this attack here, I'm thinking I just have to get going because once that Avenger gets equipped with the Jite, I can't beat it. It can be a 7/7 Can be getting in for 7 in the air, which I've got no way to stop. My removal spells can't even stop that. I'm a bit surprised he played the Plains instead of Grixis, so I still know what he's got in his deck. And this is where the trouble begins. So now my options for attack are also cut off because he can effectively block a number of creatures. So I'm in racing mode now. I have to swing these. I know one of them's going to die. The problem here is that vigilance. If that thing didn't have vigilance, I think I could have gotten it. But this is going to put him. I expect him to kill a Thought Knots here to get the card draw. So it drops him to 5. So I do have lethal on board next turn. Once he gets that Palace Jailer though, I don't have lethal on board next turn. So I have to top deck a removal spell to have any chance. So he's going to pump up the Sarah Angel here to a 7/7. So it's a 2-turn clock for me. I need a top deck right now, some sort of removal spell. He draws an extra card as a Monarch. I don't get it, so I have to concede. So we go to game 2. There's not a lot I can do sideboard here. I think there's a couple of removal spells. All is dust. I mean, I've got nothing better to bring in. But all his dust is probably not going to get cast when he's got 4 wastelands. This hand I'm looking at, I'm thinking, can I play it if he has wasteland? And the problem is Eye of Ugin doesn't tap for mana by itself. So if I was to go Eye of Ugin into Mishra's Workshop and he wastelands the workshop, then I've got no mana, so I have to. This is really lousy, but I've got a good removal spell on top. Not sure why I played that out instead of the Ancient Tomb. I think I was actually expecting a wasteland, so I played the Cavern of Souls to protect my Ancient Tomb. But you can see I'm a bit surprised here that there's no turn to wasteland, so I don't think he's got it. But a bit land flooded now. A creature would be nice. Now we see the wastelands on the Ancient Tomb, so I'm not slowed down too much. I think I have a big misplay coming up here. I play out the City of Traders first. 2, 3, 4. So this one here, I'm pretty happy to see the Sarah Avenger. And I don't know why I didn't dismember right there. I should have dismembered. So the GT, I think at this stage I was starting to think I'm going to get greedy and I'm going to dismember with it on the stack. So you can see that I played the City of Traders, which was a bit of a mistake. Here's an Endbringer in response. Revoke it to name Endbringer, I don't mind. So again, I have the opportunity to dismember here, but I'm thinking super greedy. I want him to equip GT to use the mana, and then I'll dismember in response, which is what he does. So I fire off the dismember, exiling the Simian Spirit Guide. But then I drop to 9 because of my mana. He goes bang, in comes Flicker Wisp to flash the Avenger, and so I'm pretty much screwed at that point. So a number of misplays there on my part. Again here another misplay. I play the land before I tap the City of Traders for mana. And at this stage, that's a pretty imposing and hopeless board for me. So Oliver is going to take this one 2 games to 0 and tie up our historical legacy record. You can see I'm down to 9 and I've had enough.